Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here. Hopefully you're having a great day. Hopefully enjoying the last bit of your weekend as we wrap up the last few days and hours before the Cunning Stunts DLC releases. Today we're going to be talking about some potential game modes coming in this update. I know the big focus is going to be on all the new cars, on all the ramps, on all the stunts and loops and whatnot, but I do think there's going to be some more pieces to this DLC that we will enjoy, and that's what we're going to be talking about today in the form of possibly 2 new game modes. That's right, this video might be a little bit shorter than my typical ones, but this information just kind of came out, it just surfaced, and I figured, why not? Let's do a third video today, give you guys some more intel and info on what might be coming out in the Cunning Stunts DLC. So this information is coming from FunMW2. He posted this on the next DLC thread on the GTA Forums site. So this is what he stated. He said, back to research. As you know, I found 4 adversary modes in the latest update, which was Further Adventures in Finance and Felony. 2 released and 2 are not. So you can see the 4 listed right here. All of them are FMMC and then underscore ADVM. And then they're like acronym, their name. So TP is Trading Places, DR is Unknown, PP is Power Play, and DS is also unknown. Now, FunMW2 believes that both of the unknowns start with death. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So he believes that DR is Death Race, and he believes that DS is Death Stunt. And he also states that after looking around with some stuff related to Death Stunt, he found out that there's in-game text that appears when you start it or while playing. So that's pretty interesting. So we obviously know those 2 old or existing adversary modes, Power Play and Trading Places. I'm going to be very honest with you. I did not even play Trading Places. It came out exactly when the Finance and Felony stuff came out, and I just had no time to play Trading Places at all. Power Play was actually really good, and that's obviously the gameplay you're seeing in the background right now. So I actually enjoy Power Play and still play it to this day with all the double money and RP bonuses. However, these new ones are interesting. Death Race and Death Stunt. What could those possibly be? So let's start with the in-game text that he found. So the text is input underscore vehicle underscore exit, which states to redeploy from the cargo bob. So what FunMW2 believes is this confirms the name is correct as Death Stunt. And when he did some research on Death Stunt, it checks in-game if your vehicle is a bicycle. So he goes on to state, maybe you were hunted by a rival team on a bicycle, or maybe this could be a motorcycle at the time, as it was likely in development. So that's really cool. Anytime I think of like Death Race or Death Stunt, I think of either movies that have been created about that theme, or I think of something like Mad Max Fury Road, where it's just an all-out brawl, free-for-all of cars coming after each other, trying to take each other out. So that could be extremely cool. I'm not exactly sure what Death Stunt could be. I don't know if your objective here is to die in the most dramatic way possible, because the text that was found, once again, was redeploy from cargo bob. So I would imagine you're going to be jumping out of a cargo bob. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the fact that Rockstar gave everyone a cargo bob in like the yesterday, like for free. They gave selected members of the social club free cargo bobs. So I'm not sure if you're going to need a cargo bob to start this. Again, there's a lot of different questions here. We only know just a tiny bit of information, but I really do think the Death Race and Death Stunt theme could be pretty epic. Where would these take place? Would they take place in Sandy Shores on that abandoned kind of stunt track? Would they take place at the airport where it's just like a free-for-all trying to ram each other? Maybe somewhere at Fort Zancudo where they did the rhino hunt. So again, there's a lot of questions here as to what these 2 new game modes could be. So as far as trying to figure out what the Death Race and Death Stunt game mode might be, FunMW2 responded to another question, which was off-topic-ish, but whatever happened to the rumored Savage versus Savage adversary mode? Was it a false alert? And he responded with, you sure it was an adversary mode? After some research, it's rumored to be a vehicle deathmatch. If it's a vehicle deathmatch, then it can't be found in files, as the tools are already available to create it. No extra coding or stuff like that. So that could potentially be very cool, an adversary mode or a vehicle deathmatch focused on Savage versus Savages or something like that. I mean, just because Rockstar adds these new game modes into the game with the DLC doesn't necessarily mean that they have to feature the new content. Obviously, Power Play has really nothing to do with Finance and Felony, neither did Trading Places. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to be directly connected to the content we receive, and it might be some sort of Savage versus Savage adversary mode deathmatch. So that would be extremely cool. So what's my final take on this? I'm really not too sure. I think it sounds exciting, Death Race and Death Stunt, clearly, but it's all about execution. We've seen Rockstar introduce cool sounding adversary modes into the game that have been total flops, and then we've seen them introduce extremely simple ones into the game like Sumo, which are really successful. And then we've kind of seen the reverse. Power Play is kind of complicated, but it works really well. And there's some other ones that don't work either. So I think the adversary modes are hit or miss. So we're honestly just going to have to see how they turn out and how they are. They could be extremely cool or they could be extremely lame. But anyways, that's all the information I have for you guys today. I apologize for it being a shorter video, but it was my third one of the day. And hopefully you guys did enjoy it nonetheless. If you did, be sure to drop a like rating. That would be amazing. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.